Howdy ho and welcome to Rauta's Reviews. This time we have a peculiar artist from UK. Peculiar because this actually is Peruvian background, Alpha Lyrae, or however you pronounce it. And this was curious for a couple of reasons. First of all, like I said, the background is from Peru, but located in UK. The second thing is this is a solo project. And the third one is this is a little bit, I would say, mislabeled by the artist himself. I mean, who I am to really question and judge. However, this artist might want to, define or what kind of box he would like to put the music into. But I would say this, as a warning, as a reminder, if you are going to blindly expect this music to be whatever the artist in question labels it as or whatever, you might be in for a surprise. And whether that surprise is a positive or negative one depends, of course, if your expectations and likes for certain genres. So let's take a look at this album and then I'll guide you through. Here you can see this is a very, very basic digipack featuring a girl, a kid. Looks like a girl to me, but let's not assume nobody's genders. There's a story related to that. And inside you will find, of course, the background for the CD, and then I would say the artist himself. Here sitting by a wall of a building, and here you see all lyrics and music just by Kaido Jerry, and drums, blah, blah, blah. You get the details here. And then you have, once again, the CD. Flowers, full of flowers. Now, if this doesn't give you a little bit of hippie, poppy, whatever music feeling, I don't know what does. But trust me, this ain't no next Beatles album. This is something different. Now, let's zoom a bit. Here it says that Alpha Lyrae is from London, UK, starting, however, with Peruvian solo background artist. And here it says melodic death doom. Why this is so important to me that while I'm totally open for all kind of conversation when it comes to genres and all that stuff, sometimes my mind goes into the library mode. And if you know anything how libraries work, you really have to understand that there's a reason for genres. That also goes for, record stores. I mean, that's one thing to say, yeah, whether you box death metal and black metal or all kind of extreme metal into one box and say, just start browsing by, letter alphabetically or whatever. But also you have to understand that if you go way beyond the genres and don't give a damn, it's really, really hard to find anything. Because if you just go by the name, you will have a hard time figuring out whether a certain album is your cup of tea or not. And this is why also services, including Bandcamp or Spotify or whatever, use genres. Even metal archives and the like. So here it says melodic death doom. And I would say it's actually quite wrong. The thing here is, this is barely doom, surely, but death doom, I don't know. This would really put my mind into different kind of bands. And I would say remove the death from the equation here a little bit closer to what's happening. In fact, this is in my opinion more even post-rock or even grunge to a certain degree. But I would say post-rock is roughly where this operates. Having its tentacles, spreading around to different genres, and that might include a little bit doom in the making. After all, this is mostly mid-tempo music. But this is not exactly a heavy recording. I would say, in terms of metal music, this is more like a lightweight boxer. Saying this because when you're expecting certain kind of heaviness based on death and doom, I would say, yeah, you're gonna be disappointed if you're looking for that kind of heaviness. Because this indeed operates in a very experimental ways, and that kind of shows the problem with so many solo artists when there is nobody to stop you as a producer or as a bandmate saying like, don't do that and don't include this riff and the album will be better, and the artist in question is like, hey, nobody's stopping me, I'm gonna do whatever I want, which is beautiful idea as an artist's point of view. But when it comes to a listener and part of the audience, you might say, I wish you had a producer. As a result, this album is very, very mediocre, and I will try to explain why. Now here you of course get the ideas. Yeah, it's parts of elements of progressive rock, metal, and gravitates stuff, death doom, post-rock and all. Yeah, it's a mess. It's really a salad bowl or bags of mixed goodies, and you will like, I would like this and that and not this. You probably heard the stories of people who go for certain colors of M&M candies. Well, at least they're all chocolate candies more or less. This is more like you have a little bit of the fruit candies, a little bit of those M&Ms or whatever chocolate ones. Then you have raisins and nuts, peanuts and whatever. And you know, like, this doesn't really make sense. Don't get me wrong. Music writing wise, this is okayish. Production wise, kind of okayish, but sounds like you really did it in your living room or bedroom or garage, whatever. Vocals wise, doable, not that great at all. What really bothers me with this album is that it's not really focused. And the thing here is, this kind of brings once again those problems with solo artists in question. It's not like this album is bad, but it's a mess. Now, I get this. This is a passion project. And this passion project is about parenthood. This is about a man, an artist, creating an album in order to celebrate him becoming a parent and celebrating the kid. I mean, it sounds fantastic. I'm a parent too, but I wouldn't do ever, not an album like this to my kid. Because, to be honest, this sounds more like a love letter. But love letters are kind of a private. You want to keep them private for a reason. They're about coming from you to this other person in question. When it goes public, it becomes awkward, cringe even, or in best case scenario, like, okay, I kind of understand it. I got my sympathy. But from an audience point of view, I would say this is indeed a mess. Obviously, you're not going to do a love letter to your kid and, doing extreme black or death metal. So where this goes back to is more like you kind of want to do it heavy, but then again you realize it's your kid, so you kind of want to make it soft and emotional and all, and then we get back to the mixed bag of goodies problem. So indeed, who is this intended for? The artist himself, to remind what kind of emotions the artist went through with, recording and writing the album, or is it for the kid to show, hey, daddy can play some instrument and create various styles of music? Or is it for audience to say, hey, I really like my kid, here is an album that doesn't make much of a sense besides me and the kid and maybe rest of the family members, if any. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate this album, but as much as I went through this multiple times, I feel like bored. That the first time comes to my mind. The second is a little bit frustration. Why frustration is because this doesn't really focus any of the good things on the album. It's just like scattered around with like the candies or salad examples I gave you. And that kind of a metaphor should tell you why I'm a little bit frustrated. When I go for post-rock, I want to go deep into that territory. If I go for grunge, it's another territory. If I go for doom death, yes, I can totally dig it. But it's a little bit this and that. I'm disappointed. So don't get me wrong. While this is the unwavering dedication to his daughter, yes, it's a personal thing and probably should have stayed as such. As a self-financed release, it doesn't really make much of a sense to me. Maybe it will do sense to some other people out there, and good luck if you like it, then it's a good thing. But take this as a word of warning. This ain't no melodic doom death. It's more about post-rock, kind of a little bit this and a little bit that, and that's how it is. Now, if you like the kind of mess or mixed bag of goodies, go check it out. You will find this Bandcamp link in the description box, and maybe you will enjoy it. Maybe we will go for the physical product. But, like I said, prepare for something else than melodic doom death, and you are less likely to have those disappointments. Rauta, over and out.